and welcome to another Blender tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how you can create something like this water bending animation. This tutorial is also part of the Blender Magic series. So if you want to know how you can create fire in Blender, fireballs, just check out my earlier tutorials from Tuesday and Monday. And yeah, that's it. So enjoy the tutorial. And we just start now. First of all, we are going to create our water, our pond, our sea, or our ocean, whatever. So our water scale. So we subdivide this a little bit, something like 6 times or so, make it a little bit smaller. So this is where our water comes from. So I mean, we can't bend water out of nothing. Actually we can, but that's not what we want to do. The next step is that we are going to of course set to Circuits Renderer and to GPU, right? So next thing is that we are going to create our water. So what is this? This is something like a kind of very long water drop. So let's do it something like this long. That's really long. Next thing is that we set some loop cuts, maybe a little bit more. Alright. And now we make it into a shape of a water drop. That's pretty easy. Just select this, the top face, enable proportional editing, and now select inverse square or root, something big actually. So let's take this one. So now we make this a little bit, something like this. And at the bottom, we do the same. Just, something like this. So one thing, when you scale, you can scroll to increase the size of the I don't know how to say. Too bad. To increase the size of the influence for this. Right. So next thing is we take a subdivision surface modifier. Alright. Looks good. And the next thing is, and now it's getting a little bit more complicated, we add the path our water is going. So we take a path, now rotate it on the Y scale, and now we shape our path. So first of all, of course, disable the proportional editing, we don't need this. And now let's make an interesting looking path maybe. So fine. It doesn't need to look good at first, of course. Depending on what you want to do, you can do it like it would look the best. What I'm going to show you today is just the technique how you can do this in Blender. And then now thrust again into the water. Nice. This looks pretty fun. So now, next thing is we're going to add a new modifier. And under the form modifiers, you can find the modifier curve. Now we take our NURBS path, we just select, create it, and now you can see our water drop is following this path. So along this path we can animate it. So set a keyframe when it's just below the surface of the water, and make another key frame, set another keyframe, for example, in this case at 50, where the water drop is just back into the water. So something like this. And now you can see, yeah, this looks pretty interesting. So zoom a little bit out. All right. So we got this now. I, for myself, prefer to put this into a linear curve, animation curve, instead of Bezier, just because I think it looks better and more, yeah. However, if it fits to your animation, you can take the other one, make it more smooth. So however, we got our bending water now. So what else do we need to set? First thing, of course, is this thing will affect the waterscape. So the plane up down here, it will be affected by the water we are bending. So we're going to show this by adding a kind of dynamic paint. Right. So we go to the physics tab, enable dynamic paint, and then add canvas. So this is now our canvas, and we want that this affects our canvas in the way that it makes waves as it bursts out of the water. So when we do this now, you can see just here's a little blue dot. That's because we set the surface type to paint. So we change it to waves, and now magic. It makes waves when it comes out of the water and when it gets back into the water. Why is it stopping at this point? That's not what I want. Anyway, maybe update the whole thing so it will calculate again. No? Why not? Oh, okay, my fault. Set the ends to the frame one. Let's stop. Simulate. Alright, nice. So now that this is done, we can subdivide the whole thing a little bit again. Make it nice, smooth. This will of course cost a little bit of calculating time. However, I think it's fine. My computer can bear it. If yours can't, then decrease the amount of subsurface scattering. So then it will be able to take it. So what's the next thing? The next thing is that now we're making waves when the water comes out, but actually there are also some splashes, and as you can see here, well, I didn't do it really good, I need to admit. So yeah, we need some splashes when it comes out, and we need some splashes when it goes back. So what we're going to do is we are going to add a particle system. So add a new particle system, set it to imitate, that's right. And then, for example, let's see when it gets out. Yeah, something like this. Yeah. For 3 frames, that's fine. So the first 3 frames, we are going to add a particle system which will simulate the splashes when it comes out of the water. So I set it to random, and now we want that the speed of our change the factor of the velocity of the object at first to 1 to see what happens. You see it bursts into the sky, and that's definitely too much. So what we're going to do is we change it to 0.1. This should be okay. Yeah, that's nice. Well, I think what we're going to do is we duplicate this and disable the particle system, and now we disable emitter and set this one to particle system. Now I'm doing this because I want that our particles also affect the water. They should do, they also do. That's nice. That's because, well, we want that almost everything is, that it looks natural. And you see when a drop falls into the water, it also makes some sprinkles and some waves, and that's what we want to do here. So now that I set uncheck the emitter, our emitter for the particles can't be seen anymore. So yeah, I'm doing this because, as you can see, we just can remove the brush. We are not allowed to have two brushes, kind of brushes on one object. So we got the object, which is the brush for the mesh volume, and then we got another object, which is the brush for the well, let's say for the emitter. So this one is the brush for our particle system, and this one is the brush for our mesh volume. Very nice. So the next thing is we need to give our particles, our drops, a shape. Because as you can see now, they're just not more than little dots, which won't get rendered at any time. So that's not what we want. So we are going to, we are going to add our drop. So our drop will be icosphere. So this icosphere will be our drops that will spur out when this water snake is leaving the water. Like this, that's fine. So what we're going to do is we subdivide it for one time. Make it smooth, and now we're going to add a wave modifier. So this one will turn this thing into a wave. It will make wavy moves, and that's actually also a detail what I want to get in, because the drops are not, they don't really just stay drops, they also move, they change their shape. And that's what I want to simulate here. So make it a little bit bigger, 0.07, 0.08, yeah, something like this. And then also dynamic rotation. So now when it gets out, you can see it's taking a little bit too long when it gets down again. So we are going to, actually it should work when we increase the mass. It doesn't. Very fine. Okay, maybe it works when we increase the gravity. Gravity force to 6. No, that's too much. 2 should be fine. Great. So put this to another layer so it doesn't disturb our scene. Next thing is the material. Water wouldn't be water if it wouldn't be a water material, whatever. So what we're going to do is we add a glass shader and it's done. Because water is basically nothing else than just pure and invisible water. Yeah, that's actually the thing. So what we're going to do now is that we are going to add, I just need to check if my microphone is still there. It's not. Right. I hope it didn't get. No. Where is it? Microphone, can you hear me? There it is. I hope you. I hope you could have heard me a little bit. I'm sorry. I hope it stays there now. What was I talking about? Right, the material. So now we just added a water material. So go to the render view. As you can see, you see nothing. Why do you see nothing? Because we got nothing to reflect, and anything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add something like an environment map. So let's take this one. This looks pretty fine. Maybe it's a little bit. Let's take it from here. And now alright, this should be fine. 1.4. So, right. So next thing is we need a solid ground, because as you may have seen, now it's also refracting the ground in the beyond the water surface. So now we're going to add a new plane. This will be our ground, and now we set this to force or something like this. Go into the sculpt mode and make a hole. This was a little bit too much. Yeah. So now we got our hole where the water is inside. Maybe adding in a material for the ground as well, so it won't look that ugly anymore. So maybe I'll take just the texture I've taken for the demonstration, the whole thing. So let's go ahead to the downloads and what? Damn it! This sometimes happens. I have no idea what I've done. Damn it! But it's still there. Everything is still there. Everything is fine. So I should check in the video again. Maybe I don't know what happened. So now do it again. Add a new material to the ground. Generated. Image texture to the downloads, and there's our ground texture, pretty fine. Mapping, yeah. All right, fine. And now, of course, adding a displacement map. Woo! I'm a little bit rushing right now. So let's look. This could be fine, as you might have noticed. So put this into there. Make shader with glossy, something like this. Fresnel. Increasing the roughness. Alright. So now we got a little bit dirt over here. Also as well adding a displacement map. Using our displacement image. So well, now we got our ground, we got our water. Oh well, there's a little problem. Go to the sculpt mod again. Ooh, fix this for short. All right. So now there's no water coming out anymore. It's not here. So fine. Looks great. Of course, now we need to add our sun lamp. Adding a sun lamp. In this direction. And now we got it. Except our water drop, which still got the basic material. It shouldn't have this. So now we got some little water drops. I think there should be more. So this is the wrong one. This is the right one. So add some more little sprinkles. So maybe like 5,000 in this case, and of the size of 0.2. Check it again. And how does it look like? Not that good, however. So now we can check out with our first renderer. This is how it looks like. Now we of course need to do the same thing for the way down. So take them again. Make sure you press the plus or the F. So this is a new particle system and not the same anymore. Because otherwise you would get some problem when you change the things here. So put this to 50, 44. Here as well. No, just let's take 47 and 44. 3 frames for emitting should be fine. And now check it out again. It goes up. Oh, there we missed the thing. There we missed. Damn it. So alright. Now it's fixed here. So now go ahead and, well, I just said it and now I immediately after this I forgot what I just said. So now it's working. It should work. Except that it's this is looking crazy. So I'll check this one. 0.3 here as well. 0.3 minus 0.3 and okay. So now it should work. It should. I'm not sure if it does. Alright, and of course adding some random force so it goes all over the place and not just one straight line up. And alright, this looks a little bit strange. However, so that's basically all. That's how we are going to, that's how we can create a nice looking water bending animation. That's basically how I did it there here. What you can also do is adding a little bit motion blur, so the sprinkles look a little bit more interesting. Maybe do it at this spot and you can see, this is looking very, very nice. With a little bit more samples, it probably does. Something like with 150. We can try it out for short. My microphone is still there. I really hope it doesn't happen the next time. I'll try to make it be better. Well, that's basically because it's pretty new. And yeah, so this is the whole thing with motion blur. Anyway, you have seen it now, and I hope you like it. So see you at the next time for the Blender Magic tutorial series. Let me just guess what I'm going to do the next. I guess the next thing will be a little bit with particle systems. So alright, I know what I want to do. I want to let things disappear into dust clouds. Alright, so this is what we're going to do next time. So hope you enjoyed the video and see you the next time. You're Mr. Roller.